الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So we are in the process of welcoming Ramadan and we are studying Quran Sharif. So the significance of Ramzan is that not only Quran was revealed in Ramadan, but all the previous scriptures, they were revealed in the holy month of Ramadan. As Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was not given a complete book, but different sahifas were revealed to him, and they were all revealed in the holy month of Ramadan. Then it was Torah that was revealed to or given to Musa alayhi salam, and that happened in the holy month of Ramadan. And then Dawud alayhi salam was given Zabur, and Zabur was also revealed in the holy month of Ramadan. And then Isa alayhi salam, he was given Injil, and that was again month of Ramadan. And Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the very first ayat that were revealed was in the blessed night, and that night was one of the nights of Ramadan. So we do not know which night was that. It was kept secret, just like, the two blessed nights for Muslims, in which even the angels celebrate sort of a Eid or festival, which is, first one is the mid-Shaban, which is known to everybody, and we should make an effort to make du'as and find the barakat in that night. But the next one, which is one of the night of Ramadan, in which Quran was revealed, is kept secret. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us to find it, to seek it in the whole year, and especially in Ramadan, and especially in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, and most exclusively the odd nights of Ramadan. And some scholars have even hinted at 27th night. So this holy month of Ramadan is such a blessed month because all the, not only Quran, but all the previous scriptures were revealed in this holy month. Now, inshallah, today we will be starting Surah Ali Imran. And Surah Ali Imran, we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have completed Surah Baqarah. And Surah Baqarah and Surah Ali Imran, they are connected. Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that whoever recites Surah Baqarah and Ali Imran in the day of judgment, they will appear as two clouds, two huge clouds, and they will intercede for the person who reads those two Mubarak surahs. So such is the blessing of these two surahs. It was Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam sunnah or routine that he will wake up for tahajjud, and when he wake up for tahajjud, he will recite the last portion of Surah Ali Imran. So there are a lot of barakats and in the Surah Ali Imran. And Surah Ali Imran, it took its name from Imran. And Ali Imran means children of Imran. Who was Imran? Imran was the Nana or the maternal grandfather of Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam. That's why the surah took its name. And as we know that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam initial life till age 53 was spent in Mecca. And in Mecca, it was totally a pagan society at that time. And they did not have they had little interaction with Jews because who lived in Medina and through trading, and they had very minimal interaction with Christians. In Arabia, there were some Christians, especially in the south. Like, we heard the famous story of Abroha. He was from Yemen, Sana, Yemen, and he had converted to Christianity and wanted to enforce Christianity on all the Arabia, and that's why he wanted to destroy Kaaba. And there were some also Christians, that tribe of Tay, which was in the nearby to, but overall, there were very few Christians. In Mecca, the cousin of Hazrat Bibi Khatija, Warqa bin Nawfal, he had converted to Christianity, and he had given up, idol worshipping and paganism. But this Surah Ali Imran exclusively or mainly deals with Christians, how to interact with Christian history, and the history of Surah Al Imran, like Shan and Nuzul of Al Imran, is such that it is like we heard that before in the lessons that Surah Baqarah was totally a Madani Surah, and so Al Imran. But Al Imran is latter Surah than the Surah Baqarah. And there is a one tradition that, as I said, that in south of Arabia, they were mostly Christians. There were some other religions too, but mostly Christians. So one delegation from Najran came to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and it was a big delegation. Big delegation means there were about estimated 70 people. And Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed a total tolerance to this delegation from Najran. He met that delegation with open arms, and they had a lot of questions asking Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam asked that. In the scholarly community of Christians, they were anxiously waiting for a prophet, a Messiah, that coming. And we heard the famous stories that when Warqa bin Nawfal, when Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was overwhelmed when the first ayah, first five ayahs of Surah Alaq was revealed, and when he went to Bibi Khatija, so Bibi Khatija, she took him to his cousin Warqa bin Nawfal, and Warqa bin Nawfal had no problem recognized that was the same angel that had come to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that came on Musa alayhi salam. So he wished that that I wish that I was young and I could support you when they will make you exile from Mecca. So that was such a condition that they knew about a prophet. And so was the case was Sulaiman Farsi. Sulaiman Farsi, growing up in Persia, he grew up with fire worshipping because he was exposed to Zoroastrian culture. But he was tired. Like a lot of questions arose in his mind. How can a fire be my Lord? How can the fire be my God? So he given up that religion and converted. First, he wanted to convert to Judaism, but Judaism would not take any converts. So he converted to Christianity, and he went to Syria and first to Iraq and then to Syria, and was in the company of Christians. Now here, again with the Shan and Azul, this one, this time of revelation is right after Uhud, sometimes after Uhud, because when Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to Medina, so in terms of religion, we see that in Mecca, all the society was a pagan society, and Medina, it was a mixed society of Jews and pagan society, Arab. But those pagans, mainly Aus and Khazraj, they had heard a lot about a prophet. The prophet is coming, and again, they did not have any problem recognizing Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam met them on the 12th year of Nabuwat and invited them to Islam. They were right away able to recognize Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and say, "Oh, this is the same prophet the Jews, tell us about." So they were very quick to accept Islam. So that was that. But there were no Christians living in Medina. So when these Christians of Najran heard of Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they traveled all the way from south and visited Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But it was a time that was sort of a setback for Muslims, because after Badr, the second year of, by the way, Battle of Badr also took in Ramadan. So it was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not only revealed those all the previous scriptures, but the first victory of Badr, it also took place in the month of Ramadan, 17 Ramadan. And so after second year of Hijri, when Muslims defeated a large army of Quraysh in Battle of Badr, so it was a morale booster for all the Muslims. Like, people of Medina, they took a pride. Even the biggest hypocrite, Abdullah bin Ubay, when he saw that, such a prestige of Muslims, that, they were able to defeat the most respected and the fearsome warriors of Quraysh. So he, as a hypocrite, converted to Islam, and a lot of his followers followed the suit, because it was now a matter of pride, and there was a worldly benefit of calling themselves Muslims, because they can associate with Muslims who defeated, and they were the one. That's what brought the problem of hypocrites, because now, after years of civil war in Medina, after years of poverty, because the result from the civil war, now peace was had returned to Medina, prosperity was coming, and those Muhajirs, those Muslims who had converted from Makkah to Medina, they started trading in Medina. So that also brought prosperity. So there was a worldly benefit of accepting Islam. So some people, most of the people of Ansar, Aus and Hazrat, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam united them and gave them a new title of Ansar. And also, what happened that after Badr, there was also a matter of pride. They were no longer considered like, Ansaris were not considered a group of people who are associated with civil war, but it was a matter of pride. The first Islamic state, Medina, was emerging as a commerce center, but a setback happened in the third year of Hijri in Battle of Uhud. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that, a 700 strong Muslim army, they went to face off a 3,000 strong Quraysh army in Battle of Uhud. And they got a astounding and clear victory against the Quraysh. 700 Muslims were able to defeat a 3,000 strong army. They fled. But what they did, the commands of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was disobeyed. He had told 50 archers to guard the back, a passage in the Uhud mountain to safeguard. But when they see that Muslims are, winning it, so they misinterpret the command, and they say it was only for the time of war. Now our war is over, and that's why the total victory was come. So this Surah Al-Imran was revealed after the Uhud battle, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is comforting Muslims and says that if you follow the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Allah is with you. And it was just and this another topics are covered. The mainly, there are 200 ayats in Surah Al-Imran, and 100, about half of them is concerning the history of Christianity, how to engage with Christians. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that, his message is also to the Christians, that Christians, they were awaiting and for a prophet, and they claim themselves to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a message that if you want Allah to love you back, the method is in the obedience of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And that was a message given to the Christians. So inshallah, so Mansubiya, is somebody came for the recitation, Abdul Ghani or?
Assalamu alaikum, Hazrat. I'm available. If you want, I can recite.
Yes, going to recite Surah Al-Imran, inshallah. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألف لام ميم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم. نزل عليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا لما بين يديه وأنزل التوراة والإنجيل من قبل هدى للناس وأنزل الفرقان إن الذين كفروا بآيات الله لهم عذاب شديد والله عزيز ذو انتقام. إن الله يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء. هو الذي يصوركم في الأرحام كيف يشاء. لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم. هو الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات هن أم الكتاب وأخر متشابهات فأما الذين في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء تأويله وما يعلم تأويله إلا الله. والراسخون في العلم يقولون آمنا به كل من عند ربنا وما يذكر إلا أولو الألباب. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. صدق الله العلي العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم.
Jazakallah Abdul Ghani. So as we start Surah Al Imran, and this start with Ayatul Muqtat, and this is starting with Alif Lam Mim. As I discussed earlier, there are 6 surahs that start with Alif Lam Mim, and the previous Surah Baqarah we read, that start with Alif Lam Mim. The Surah Al Imran is starting with Alif Lam Mim. Surah Al Kabut start with Alif Lam Mim. Surah Sajda start with that. Surah Rum, Surah Luqman start with Alif Lam Mim. So there are total 6 of them that start with Alif Lam Mim. And Maulana Abdul Siddiqui Saheb highlights that, just by pondering over it, we cannot understand the real meaning of this Alif Lam Mim or Ayatul Muqtat. But some other scholars have pointed out that this could be a challenge. It could be a challenge that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Arab, who took pride in their poetry, and they say that, we are the best poets in the world. And when Quran was revealed, so they tried to refute it, they tried to reject it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that, why don't you make, a kalam like this and come up if you have some doubts that it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the whole Quran, he's using the same letters. It is Alif Lam Mim, Alif Lam Ra. So all the Quran is from the same alphabet that Arab used to use it. So if it is from Mazallah, not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so you have those letters too. You can make something like that, but you will not be able to do that because it is the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which nobody can do that. So just like, there are all the ingredients or the elements, chemical elements are there, but nobody can, like if we see an artificial flower and if we see the real flower, one made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and one made by a human being, we can tell the difference. An artificial fruit, a plastic fruit that is manufactured in a factory, or the real apple or fruits that are grown on the tree, one made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and one made by artificially, we can tell the difference. So same goes with that. The same ingredients or the same letters Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making, is revealing the Quran, but it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those people with a wisdom can tell the difference. It is a divine revelation or mazallah, human. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being, which is Allahu la ilaha illahu al hayyul qayyum. So, Allah is the one, there's no other deity, and He is ever living. So now the address is being to the Christians. Nazzala alayka al-kitaba bil haqqi musaddiqan lima bayna yadayhi. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed Quran Sharif. And when He revealed, and this Quran also testified to the previous scriptures, which is Torah and Injil. That was revealed to the people previously. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also, and Anzal al-Furqan, that was the criterion. Criterion means a lot of people had accepted vices or the ills in the society, but they were immune to it. They did not think of it. So Furqan means it is like criterion that establish a criteria between good and bad. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given those previous scriptures and the Quran as a Furqan, the criterion that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala established what is good and what is bad. Just like in this society that we are living, Ma'azallah or Astaghfirullah, some things have been accepted as a norm, but sexually permissive attitude or the homosexuality. But Furqan, according to Furqan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, is condemning that and establishing what is good and what is bad. So this is Furqan. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ شَدِيدٌ وَاللَّهُ عَزِيزٌ ذُو انتِقَامٍ. So those people who reject the ayahs. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He revealed Quran, He's addressing Christians that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Quran and it testified all the previous scriptures, because that's the difference between those three religions. That Jews, they accepted the Old Testament, which we refer to as, Torah, and they accept they do not accept the New Testament, which is the Injil, which was revealed to Isa alayhi salam, but they only accept what is revealed to Musa alayhi salam in the Torah. Christians, they accept both Old Testament, which is Torah, and Injil, the Old Testament, but they reject Quran. Quran testified that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had revealed all those previous books, Zabur, Torah, and Injil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also gave the equivalent of that. Allah, as you will read, that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Quran as Ummul Kitab, the original of all the Quran, because all the previous scriptures, they are also incorporated in Quran. Surah Fatiha is equivalent to Torah, and Surah Maida is equivalent to Injil, and all the 7 surahs that start with Hamami, they are equivalent to the Zabur that was revealed to. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala incorporated all of them, but with the rest of the surahs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given more excellence and more argument to Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to propagate the deen. Inna Allah la yakfa alayhi shay'un fil ardi wala fis samai. So Allah is the one, from Him nothing is hidden, or nothing is hidden from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the earth and in the heavens. وَالَّذِي يُصَوِّرُكُمْ فِي الْأَرْحَامِ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He's the one who fashions or shapes babies in the wombs of the people. And if you look, that this is also an ayat. Ayat means there's also a sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that there are 7 billion people in this world, but all of them are different. Like face I have, nobody. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fashioned all the give the shape and give the different DNA. So there are 7 billion people in this world, and Allah is the one who had given them a face in their womb, but they're all different. There are 7 billion people in this world. All of their DNA is different. All of their faces are different. All of their fingerprints are different. So so Allah is the one who has a capacity to give the shape and Allah is the one who's Musawwir. So He's the one, and the face of a human being is also one of the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you look at a person's face, you can tell which ethnic group he belongs to, which, like, son has a resemblance with father, so it has the family resemblance. It also tells the age. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pointing out with that. La ilaha illa huwal azizul hakim, and he's the one who's the there's no deity other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he's the one with all the wisdom. Huwa allazi anzala alayka al-kitaba minhu ayatun muhkumatun un ummul kitab. So he's the one who revealed the kitab. Kitab means Quran here, and in which there are the commands. So what is the difference? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he revealed the Quran, there are two types of ayats. One are the literal meanings, and another one is the metaphoric meanings. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also not only revealed the Quran, but is saying that how to read and interpret the Quran, because one part of Quran explains the other part of Quran. So some of them are muhkamat. Muhkamat means they literally means just like do not gamble, do not consume alcohol. These are the literal commands. And some of the commands Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have a metaphoric, and these are called mutashabihat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that what is the difference between the command of muhkamat and mutashabihat, which means a literal, and so umul kitabo wa uquru mutashabihat, and some of them are the metaphoric and with a similitude. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ زَيْغٌ فَيَتَّبِعُونَ مَا تَشَابَهَ مِنْهُ ابْتِغَاءَ. So those people who have ill in their heart, what they're doing, instead of following the literal, what they do is they follow the metaphoric meaning, and they try to suit their own intention from Quran, and they try to they say, okay, the real meaning of this metaphoric meaning is this. So tawila means the real meaning, so the essence of that. And what do you see that? Does it apply today? Yes, it applies today, because they are Qadian is the same surah Al Imran. You will see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used the word we use, mutawaffi, means we use that. Mutawaffi means a person who has passed away. So for Isa alayhi salam, that word has been used. So these Qadianis, they use that word. They say that Isa alayhi salam has passed, so there's no second coming of Isa alayhi salam or second coming of Christ. And Mazallah, they try to twist that, their leader, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, is that. So what they do, they take the mutashabihat or the metaphoric meaning and they interpret. So what they have zikhun, like that means they have an ill in their heart. So they try to find, so they do not have the open or unbiased opinion of that. They are looking for particular mutashabihat, a particular thing, and they try to interpret to tailor it to their own intention. So is this one of the fitna that is emerging in India. There is one person, and Mazallah, he's saying that there are such and such ayats, they promote terrorism and they should be taken out of Quran. So there's nothing wrong with the Quran, something hard, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have zikh, and it means they have the disease in their heart. That's why, just to be a crowd pleaser, that person in India is trying to please the establishment and sort of become a sort of a tout for the BJP government. So there's something wrong. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is clearly warning against those people who try to use the mutashabihat. But for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving another people, those people who have the wisdom, they have the sincerity. Those people, I will take another example of mosquito. That mosquito Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing. So kuffar at that time say, what does Allah intend by describing mosquito, a small creature, to us? But those people with the wisdom, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the real essence of the knowledge. So they can find even in the small animal like mosquito, the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's. So those people, so they try to look a particular, ibtigha means to find out. So they try to find a particular metaphoric ayat that can suit their own. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that only Allah knows the real meaning, and Allah reveals it to some people who are sensitive. So this ilm ludunni is the special knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody knows what does alif lam mim means, alif lam ra means, or nobody knows what ha mim means. But these are the special knowledge Allah Ta'ala bestowed upon some people who are seeking the ludunni. Ludunni means min ladunka, means that especially from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah exclusively have that knowledge, and that has been totally revealed because to Allah's Prophet Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, but he also gave it to some special people. And so the mutashabihat has a meaning, but it is for special people, those people, sincere people who ponder over it, and those people who sincerely, not they have any ill or zikh in their heart. وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ وَيَقُولُونَ آمَنَّا بِهِ كُلٌّ مِّنْ عِنْدِ رَبِّنَا. So those people who are well versed, they are sincere in their knowledge. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they say that, you know, that the real knowledge is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And وَمَا يَذَّكُّرُ إِلَّا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only guides the people who are the person with wisdom. Ulil Bab means the people with wisdom and with the intellectual integrity. And now there's a very beautiful dua in the end. رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ. So min ladunka, dunka means from your part. So ilm ludunni, which was derived from this word ladunka. So that means which Allah has it. In Urdu we say Allah ke paas hai. So he grants it to people. So this mutashabihat or metaphoric knowledge or the special knowledge is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to. And this is a dua that is asking for that. Hadaytana wa hablana min ladunka rahma innaka antal wahhab. So another Rabbana, like, you know, there are 40 Rabbanas that are in Quran, and these are two of them are right here. Rabbana innaka jami'un nas liyawma la rayba fi. And Allah is the one who has gathered all the people on the day that there's no doubt. Inna Allah la yukhlifu al-mi'ad. Allah doesn't turn back on his promise. So these are two beautiful Rabbana, duas that start with Rabbana. So we read it, and we read it later on. There are 200 verses in Surah Ali Imran, and you know, this is the beautiful stories of Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. And I will give you, I will not finish all that, but Imran, the name of Imran, it is Imran was actually the Nana or the maternal grandfather of Isa alayhi salam. So his story is mentioned, and Isa alayhi salam's story, Bibi Maryam's story is then, and the Khalu or the uncle of Bibi Maryam, which is Zakaria alayhi salam, is mentioned. And when he saw the miracle of Bibi Maryam, he was very old. He was over 90 years old, and he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant him a son. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with Yahya alayhi salam, even though he was very old. So inshallah we will go forward. So I will stop here inshallah, and if there's any questions or comments, please go ahead.